kindergartners. We're going to continue working on our stories from Writer's Workshop. Yesterday, Mrs. Pollock showed you how you can add some speech bubbles and some dialogue into your stories. Today, we're going to continue talking, and we're going to talk about punctuation. Do you know that word? Let me show you the word. This is the word that says punctuation. Can you clap it with me? Punctuation. Let's count the syllables. Ready? Count it on our fingers. Punctuation. Okay, punctuation has 4 syllables. It's a pretty big word. Well, what is punctuation? Well, punctuation are some of the marks that you put in your writing. The most familiar one that you've used a lot this year in kindergarten is this one. It just looks like a little dot. Do you remember the name of it? It is called a period. Whoops. The second one that you might have used this year is this one. This is called the exclamation mark. And this is to show strong feeling. Okay, a regular sentence we might just use a period, but the exclamation mark shows strong feeling. For example, if I'm really angry, maybe I'll put an exclamation. Or if I'm super excited, I will put an exclamation. Or if I'm really disappointed with something, I might put an exclamation. It shows any kind of strong feeling. All right, the third one is this one. This one is called the question mark, right? Question mark is pretty easy because that's when we ask a question. So boys and girls, today I want to show you a book that you're pretty familiar with. It's the Elephant and Piggy book, and I want to show you how the author used punctuation in his book. In addition, I wanted to show you how he used some of the font size to show the feeling of the character in the story. Okay, so you might want to try that in your story today. So let's have a look at Mo Willems' book. All right, boys and girls, I have this Mo Willems book here, and it's called I Am Going. Do you remember this book? I love this story with Gerald and Piggy. Well, I wanted to show you what the author has done in this book, and I want to show you some of the punctuation and the different types of fonts that our author has used. And we're going to try to steal some of his ideas today. Okay, so let me show you a sentence right here. You can see that Mo Willems has used a speech bubble in his story today, and he has a sentence. It says, "This is a good day." Now you can see it's just a regular sentence. There's not any strong feelings. It's not asking questions, so it's just a regular sentence with a period. Okay, so a lot of his sentences have periods in here. All right, so here's another one. Yeah, it says, "Yesterday was a good day too." Now let me show you, he also has used some exclamation marks and some question marks. So let's flip over here and have a look at this one. Now this one you can see, Gerald is actually talking to Piggy and he says, "You cannot go," but look, with the exclamation mark. So now how can I read it? If I'm a reader, I'm going to not just read it as "you cannot go." I'm going to read it to show the feeling that Gerald's having. I think he's worried. Okay, he's worried that Piggy is leaving him, and so he says, "You cannot go." So do you see how I made my voice go up? Okay, so when a reader is reading your sentence, you might have some strong feeling in there. Okay, maybe something dangerous is about to happen, and your character is going to shout, "Help! Help me!" Then you're going to put an exclamation mark. All right, now, boys and girls, let me show you the third one. The third kind is a question mark. Now, question mark is asking questions. So you can see here Gerald is talking to Piggy and he's asking her a question. Let's see what the question says. It says, "Who will I skip with?" Now again, boys and girls, did you notice that when I read the sentence with a question mark, my voice goes up? Okay, and when it goes up, at the end of it, you also have to wait a little bit because you're waiting for the other character to answer. Okay, so you don't want to just go right ahead and read the next sentence. You have to wait. Is there an answer? Maybe Piggy will say yes. Or maybe Piggy says, "No, I want to jump instead of skipping." Now, but on a regular sentence, boys and girls, let's go back to that regular sentence. Okay, here is a regular sentence. How would I read it? Would my voice go up or would it go down? Now, on a period, listen carefully. Well, I am going. Did you hear? My voice kind of went down when I have a period. So, boys and girls, as you're writing, experiment. In your sentence, is it going to have a period, exclamation, or a question mark? Now, I'm going to show you a really cool one today. All right? This page, look carefully at the end of the sentence. What's happening here? It has two punctuation. We have a question mark and exclamation mark. What does that mean, boys and girls? Well, when you have something like this, you're actually the character here is not only are they asking a question, but they're also showing a strong feeling. So here, Elephant just found out that Piggy's leaving, and so she's saying this like this: "You are going away?" So she's asking, and she's worried. Okay, so sometimes you can put both of them together. Okay, so a question mark followed by a exclamation mark. Now, boys and girls, now I wanted to show you some thoughts. Okay, so now we can see how here we have a regular size words. But on this page, boys and girls, I wanted to show you that the author has made the words get a lot bigger. Okay, so what's happening on this page? You can see that the character is shouting. Okay, so if you want your character to be shouting, maybe in your story, you're going to be talking, you have a bear that says, "I'm going to eat you." And he says, "I'm going to eat you." Is he going to say in a tiny little voice or a big voice? A big voice. Now let's see what the author did. He made capital letters. Okay, so all the letters are capital, and he made it a lot bigger. And another thing you can do is make the words bold. Okay, so make them darker. And look at that. 1, 2, 3 exclamation marks. Okay, so it really, really shows like not just a little bit of strong feeling, but triple, 3 times the strong feeling. Right, boys and girls, let me show you one last thing you might want to try in your writing. Okay, so on this last page, did you see the words are really teeny tiny? Okay, they're smaller than the regular words. So here on, let's see, on this page, I have the regular words. It says, "I am going now." But here, did you see what Williams did? He made the words super, super, super small. And that is, you would read it in a quiet, soft voice. Okay, so here Joe is saying, "Why?" Okay, so he's not shouting it out. He's saying it in a really soft voice. So in your story, you might want to try some small words in your book. Okay, so let me review today. Okay, show you the 5 things you can try today in your book. Okay, 1, you can try exclamation mark to show some strong feeling. Right? 2, you can try, of course, everyone's going to be writing lots of periods. 3, you might be asking a question. Right? Next, you might try some small words to show that the character is saying something quietly. Or you might try some big words to show that the character is shouting. All right, so these are the 5 things I want you to try today to make your writing a little bit more interesting, boys and girls. So boys and girls, do you remember my story about the Saudi princess? I wanted to show you my example here. Okay, so this is actually from page 3 of the book. And can you see some of the punctuation I have used on this page? Can you find a period on the page? And do you see an exclamation mark on this page? Yep, there's some periods here, and then there's an exclamation mark. So let's read it and see how I used it. It got dark in the desert. The princess could not see her way home. She was lost. Now, boys and girls, I decided to use an exclamation mark here because I wanted to show the feeling here. Okay, if someone was lost, how do you think they would feel? Well, if you said a little bit scared, You are right. So I would definitely put an exclamation mark to show there was some feeling here. Okay, let's go over here. Suddenly, she saw a shooting star pointing to the way home. She followed the light and found her house. Do you think we can change one of these periods to an exclamation mark? Well, suddenly she saw a shooting star pointing to the way home. I think it could show some excitement here. Okay, now another thing I can do is maybe there might be a word on here that I can make it bigger. Okay, so let's see. I think the word shooting star is kind of important, okay, because I thought when she saw that shooting star, that was like the thing that solved the problem. So I'm actually going to make it a lot bigger here. And so the reader can see that this was a really important word, and I'm going to make it bigger here. Now, when you're writing it, you could even make it all capital letters. So if there's a word that you want the character to be shouting out, you can make it like that. Okay, and actually I'm going to even put some little stars right next to the word because I think that will be really cool. Okay. So boys and girls, I want you to try some of these out today. All right, so go get your writing book out right now. Okay, get your book out and off you go.